What if I told you that the strongest person in the room is not the loudest, but the one who can be disrespected, rejected, ignored, or misunderstood, and still remain completely in control? That is the strength of Stoicism. Life will test you. People will provoke you. Plans will fail. Someone you trusted may disappoint you. And sometimes, you will wake up facing problems you never asked for. But you don't have to let every external event control your internal world. The goal isn't to become emotionless. The goal is to become so disciplined that your emotions no longer control your decisions. A Stoic understands one powerful truth: you cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. Imagine someone insulting you in public. Your first instinct might be to fight back, defend yourself, or prove them wrong. But imagine taking a breath and saying nothing. Not because you're weak. Because you understand that reacting emotionally gives another person control over your peace. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that we have power over our own minds, not over external events. That principle can change your life. Stop giving people the remote control to your emotions. If someone is rude, let them be rude. If someone misunderstands you, let them misunderstand you. If someone doesn't appreciate you, let them walk away. You don't have to chase every conflict. Sometimes the most powerful response is no response. Think about a calm ocean. Waves can crash against it all day, but the ocean doesn't become the waves. In the same way, anger may rise inside you, disappointment may appear, and fear may knock at your door, but you don't have to become those emotions. Observe them. Breathe. Then choose your response. Master your reaction. There was once a man who received an angry message from someone who hated him. He read it and immediately felt his blood boiling. He began typing a long response. But before sending it, he put his phone down. He waited. An hour later, he read the message again. The anger was gone. And suddenly, he realized something: the message had not changed, but he had. That is emotional strength. Never make permanent decisions from temporary emotions. When you're angry, wait. When you're hurt, breathe. When you're overwhelmed, slow down. You don't need to respond immediately just because someone expects an immediate reaction. Create space between what happens and what you do next. That tiny space is where your freedom lives. Another powerful Stoic lesson is to stop expecting people to behave exactly as you want. People will be selfish sometimes. They will be careless. They will break promises. They will say things without thinking. They will disappoint you. If you expect everyone to be reasonable, you will constantly be frustrated. But when you accept that human beings are imperfect, you become harder to disturb. Imagine going outside and getting angry because the rain is falling. You can scream at the sky. You can complain for hours. But the rain doesn't care. The wiser response is to accept reality and carry an umbrella. That's Stoicism. Don't waste your energy fighting reality. Adapt to it. If something cannot be changed, acceptance is not weakness. Acceptance is power. You also need to stop taking everything personally. Someone's rejection does not automatically mean you're worthless. Someone's criticism does not automatically mean you're a failure. Someone leaving does not mean your life is over. Sometimes people react from their own pain, insecurity, jealousy, or misunderstanding. You don't have to carry every opinion people have about you. Picture a tree standing in a storm. The wind pushes it. The rain hits it. Branches shake. But the tree remains rooted. Be like that tree. Let opinions move around you without moving your identity. Know who you are. Know what you stand for. And stop constantly asking the world for permission to feel worthy. Build your self-respect from within. Another way to become stronger is to practice doing difficult things without complaining. Wake up when you said you would. Finish what you started. Exercise when you don't feel motivated. Stay disciplined when nobody is watching. Say no when you need to say no. Walk away from unnecessary arguments. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows. A man who cannot control his habits will struggle to control his emotions. Strength is built in small moments. Nobody suddenly becomes mentally unbreakable. You become stronger every time you choose discipline over impulse. Every time you choose silence over an argument. Every time you choose patience over anger. Every time you choose purpose over distraction. Train your mind before life tests it. And remember this. You will lose people. You will experience failure. You will have bad days. You will sometimes question yourself. That doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. The Stoic doesn't demand a life without problems. The Stoic prepares himself to face problems without losing himself. So when life hits you, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? If someone betrays you, learn discernment. If you fail, learn resilience. If someone rejects you, learn self-worth. If you lose something, learn detachment. If life becomes difficult, learn endurance. Turn every hardship into training. One day, you'll look back and realize the things you thought would destroy you actually built you. The insult made you wiser. The rejection made you stronger. The failure made you disciplined. The loneliness made you independent. The pain taught you what comfort never could. So don't run from every difficult moment. Sometimes your greatest strength is being willing to stand in the storm and say, I can handle this. You don't need to become cold. You need to become grounded. You don't need to stop caring. You need to stop allowing everything to control you. You don't need everyone to respect you. You need to respect yourself. And you don't need to win every argument. You need to win the battle within yourself. That is true Stoic strength. From today forward, pause before reacting. Think before speaking. Accept what you cannot control. Focus on what you can control. Protect your peace. Strengthen your discipline. And never allow another person's behavior to determine the quality of your character. Remember, you cannot control the storm. But you can control how you stand in it, ***. But there is another level of strength most people never develop. It is the ability to remain calm when you are misunderstood. Imagine spending weeks doing your best for someone, only for them to accuse you of not caring. Your first instinct is to explain yourself. You want to prove your intentions. You want them to understand the truth. But sometimes, no explanation will satisfy someone who has already decided what they want to believe. The Stoic learns something powerful. You don't need everyone to understand you. If your intentions are clean and your actions are honorable, let your character speak over time. Stop exhausting yourself trying to correct every misunderstanding. There will always be someone who sees you differently. Let them. Your peace is more valuable than winning an argument inside someone else's mind. Now imagine someone suddenly stops talking to you. You check your phone. Nothing. You send a message. No response. You start wondering what you did wrong. You replay every conversation. You create explanations in your head. And before you know it, someone else's silence has taken over your entire day. This is where Stoicism teaches detachment. You can care about someone without becoming dependent on their attention. You can love people without needing constant reassurance from them. You can appreciate someone's presence without believing your happiness depends on it. Never make another person's attention the foundation of your peace. People come and go. Circumstances change. Relationships evolve. But you remain responsible for your own mind. And sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is release what no longer belongs in your life. There was a man who kept holding on to an old relationship because he was afraid of being alone. Every day, he suffered. Every day, he hoped things would return to the way they once were. Eventually, he realized something. He wasn't holding on to the person. He was holding on to a memory. Once he accepted that the past could not be recreated, he finally became free. That's the power of acceptance. Stop fighting yesterday. Yesterday cannot be edited. You can learn from it. You can apologize for it. You can grow because of it. But you cannot live there. The strongest version of you is built by what you do today. And this brings us to another powerful principle. Stop needing life to be fair. Life will not always reward the good person immediately. Sometimes dishonest people succeed. Sometimes hardworking people struggle. Sometimes you do everything right and still lose. That can make you bitter if you let it. But the Stoic doesn't build his character around fairness. He builds it around virtue. You don't act with integrity because everyone will reward you. You act with integrity because that's who you choose to be. Imagine two people walking through the same difficult situation. One says, "This is unfair. I don't deserve this." The other says, "This is difficult. What can I do now?" The circumstance is identical. But their minds are completely different. The first person becomes a victim of the situation. The second becomes a student of it. Stop asking why life isn't easier. Start asking how you can become stronger. When something goes wrong, take a breath. Don't immediately blame someone. Don't immediately complain. Don't immediately panic. Ask yourself, what is within my control right now? Maybe you can't control what happened. But you can control your next action. You can control your words. You can control whether you continue. You can control whether you learn. You can control whether you allow this moment to make you bitter or better. That is where your power is. And here's something else you must understand. Silence can be strength. You don't have to respond to every accusation. You don't have to defend every decision. You don't have to announce every goal. You don't have to tell everyone what you're planning. Sometimes, move quietly. Work quietly. Improve quietly. Let the results make the announcement. A man once told everyone about the life he was going to build. He talked about his goals constantly. He told friends what he would accomplish. But months passed, and nothing changed. Another person said almost nothing. He simply worked. Every morning. Every evening. No announcements. No excuses. 1 year later, everyone could see the difference. The lesson? Talk less about who you're becoming. Become that person. Your discipline doesn't need an audience. Your growth doesn't need applause. And your strength doesn't need to be announced. Build yourself in private so strongly that your public life eventually becomes undeniable. But even as you grow stronger, don't become arrogant. Stoicism isn't about believing you're better than everyone else. It's about realizing that you are responsible for yourself. You don't need to dominate people. You need to dominate your impulses. You don't need to control others. You need to control yourself. You don't need to make people fear you. You need to become someone you can respect. That is real power. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, pause. The next time someone insults you, breathe. The next time you are rejected, stand tall. The next time you fail, study the lesson. The next time someone walks away, release them with dignity. And the next time life becomes difficult, remember. This is not the end of your story. This is another opportunity to train your mind. You are not here to live a life where nothing ever goes wrong. You are here to become the kind of person who can face what goes wrong without losing himself. That's the difference between comfort and strength. Comfort asks, how can I avoid difficulty? Strength asks, how can I handle difficulty? So train yourself. Train your patience. Train your discipline. Train your silence. Train your ability to walk away. Train your ability to start again. Train your ability to remain calm when everyone else is losing control. Because one day, something will happen that you didn't expect. And when it does, you want to be able to look at yourself and say, I've been preparing for this. That is Stoic strength. Not becoming someone who feels nothing. Becoming someone who feels deeply but chooses wisely. Not becoming cold. Becoming controlled. Not becoming heartless. Becoming resilient. And not becoming unaffected by life. But becoming so grounded that life can shake you without breaking you. There is a level of mental strength where people can provoke you, reject you, criticize you, or ignore you, and you still remain at peace. Not because you don't feel anything. But because you've learned that not everything deserves a reaction. Think about this. Someone says something disrespectful to you. For a few seconds, anger rises. Your mind starts preparing a response. You want to prove them wrong. But then you stop. You take a breath. And you ask yourself, if I react right now, will I be stronger tomorrow, or will I regret it? That single question can save you from countless mistakes. Because anger wants action immediately. Wisdom knows when to wait. A man once received an insulting comment from someone he barely knew. He started typing an angry response. Then he stopped. He deleted it. He realized something important. He was about to give several hours of his peace to someone who had only spent a few seconds trying to disturb it. Why would he do that? Never pay for someone else's behavior with your peace. Your attention is valuable. Your energy is valuable. Your time is valuable. Stop giving all three to people who have done nothing to deserve them. There will always be people who want to test your patience. Some will deliberately push your buttons. Some will criticize you because they don't understand you. Some will provoke you because they want to see you lose control. And sometimes, the greatest victory is refusing to give them the reaction they came looking for. You don't have to prove that you're strong. Your ability to remain composed is proof enough. Control yourself, and you become difficult to control. Now let's talk about disappointment. Because anger is not the only thing that destroys peace. Sometimes, it's expectations. You expect someone to call. They don't. You expect someone to keep a promise. They don't. You expect your hard work to produce results quickly. It doesn't. You expect life to go according to your plan. It doesn't. And suddenly, you're frustrated. But ask yourself, did reality actually betray you? Or did your expectations create the pain? The Stoics understood that expectations can become invisible chains. When you expect less from circumstances and focus more on your own actions, you become harder to disappoint. This doesn't mean becoming pessimistic. It means becoming prepared. Expect people to be imperfect. Expect plans to change. Expect obstacles. Expect delays. Expect that sometimes, despite your best effort, things won't work. Then when difficulty arrives, you don't collapse. You adapt. Imagine you're driving toward a destination and suddenly the road is blocked. You could sit there for hours screaming at the road. Or you could find another route. The destination hasn't changed. Only the path has changed. That's how you should approach life. When the path changes, change your strategy, not your purpose. Maybe the opportunity disappeared. Find another. Maybe the relationship ended. Heal and continue. Maybe you failed. Learn and try again. Maybe someone rejected you. Improve and move forward. Never allow one closed door to convince you that there are no doors left. Your life is bigger than one moment. Your future is bigger than one failure. And your identity is bigger than one person's opinion. You must also learn to stop comparing your journey with everyone else's. Someone will become successful before you. Someone will get married before you. Someone will buy the things you want before you. Someone will seem happier than you. And if you're constantly looking sideways, you'll forget to look forward. A young man once spent so much time comparing his progress with his friends that he stopped appreciating his own. Every achievement felt small because someone else had achieved something bigger. Eventually, he realized he had turned his life into a competition nobody had asked him to enter. He stopped comparing. He focused on his own discipline. And slowly, his peace returned. Your competition is not the person beside you. It's the person you were yesterday. Measure your progress against yourself. Are you more disciplined? Are you more patient? Are you more focused? Are you less reactive? Are you keeping more promises to yourself? Those are victories. Because real growth isn't always visible to other people. Sometimes your greatest achievement is simply refusing to return to the person you used to be. You also need to understand the power of solitude. If you cannot be alone without feeling empty, you'll become dependent on people who don't deserve access to you. Learn to sit with yourself. Take a walk without your phone. Spend time thinking. Read. Write. Reflect. Let your mind become comfortable without constant noise. A person who is comfortable alone is much harder to manipulate. They don't stay in unhealthy situations simply because they're afraid of loneliness. They don't tolerate disrespect because they fear being abandoned. They don't chase people who have already chosen to leave. They understand. Being alone is better than losing yourself just to keep someone around. And here's another lesson you must carry with you. Don't explain your boundaries endlessly. If someone repeatedly disrespects you, you don't need to deliver a 20-minute speech about why it hurts. Set the boundary. If they respect it, good. If they don't, create distance. Your peace doesn't require their permission. A Stoic doesn't waste energy trying to force people to become different. He changes his own position. If the fire is burning your hand, you don't argue with the fire. You remove your hand. Simple. Sometimes you don't need revenge. You need distance. Sometimes you don't need an apology. You need acceptance. Sometimes you don't need closure from another person. You need closure within yourself. And sometimes the strongest sentence you can say is, I understand. I wish you well. But I am moving forward. No drama. No begging. No revenge. No endless explanations. Just peace. That is strength. And as you develop this strength, be careful not to confuse emotional control with emotional suppression. You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to grieve. You are allowed to feel disappointed. You are allowed to admit that something hurt you. Strength doesn't mean pretending you're made of stone. Strength means you can feel pain without allowing pain to dictate your character. A Stoic can hurt and still behave with dignity. He can be disappointed and still keep his promises. He can be angry and still choose restraint. He can lose something and still remain grateful for what remains. That's emotional mastery. So when life hits you, don't say, I shouldn't feel this. Instead say, I feel this, but I choose what I do next. That is the difference. Your emotions are signals. They are not commands. Anger may tell you something feels wrong. Fear may tell you to be careful. Sadness may tell you that something mattered. But you still decide what happens next. And the more you practice that choice, the stronger you become. One day, you'll notice something strange. The things that once destroyed your entire day won't have the same power anymore. Someone's opinion won't control your mood. A delayed message won't ruin your morning. A rejection won't destroy your confidence. A criticism won't make you question your worth. A setback won't make you quit. You'll still feel everything. But you'll recover faster. You'll think clearer. You'll react less. And you'll return to yourself sooner. That's what becoming unshakable really means. Not that life stops hitting you, but that you stop staying down. So remember this. Protect your mind. Not everyone deserves access to your attention. Protect your peace. Not every argument deserves your voice. Protect your character. Never allow someone else's bad behavior to turn you into someone you don't respect. And protect your future. Don't sacrifice tomorrow's peace for today's impulse. You are building something greater than a temporary emotional victory. You are building yourself. If this message helped you, share it with someone who needs to become stronger mentally. And tell me in the comments. I control my response. Subscribe to Stoic Ascension for more lessons on Stoicism, discipline, emotional control, resilience, and self-mastery. Remember. The world may test you. People may disappoint you. Life may surprise you. But every challenge gives you another opportunity to practice the one thing that truly belongs to you. Your response. Stay calm. Stay disciplined. Stay unshaken. And keep ascending.